The live streaming is on. Not yet. Yes.
Shall we begin?
We are
Shall we
live.
start?
So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to yet another event of the Vibe Live. The Vibe, which stands for Women Inspire, Build, and Enhance, is a platform dedicated to fostering women's excellence. It brings together women doctors from diverse specialties to share knowledge, leadership experiences, and personal journeys that inspire growth and collaboration. The fundamental pillars that form the vibe are physical well being, mental health, financial wisdom, and professional excellence. Through various initiatives, the vibe strives to build a strong community of women professionals who uplift one another and redefine the landscape of healthcare leadership. I'm Dr. Ritu Johri, consultant diabetologist and metabolic expert practicing in the western suburbs of Mumbai. I'm indeed privileged to have a unique diverse background with a decade and a half spent in pharmaceutical industry and last half a decade treating diabetes, thyroid and obesity. Besides working at our two clinics in Kandivali and Malad, I enjoy applying my past learnings from pharma within as a co-founder of RFET. But what brings me the most pleasure in sharing is the introduction of this exclusive initiative, The Vibe, as founder of one of its kind platform that targets fostering women excellence. With that, let me have you introduce to our vibing team. Dr. Lotika?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Dr. Lotika Purohit, a diabetologist practicing in Kolaba, Mumbai for the last 3 decades. I'm also a visiting faculty at JJ Group of Hospitals and a partner at Sugar Doctor Medicare LLP with my life partner, Dr. Suresh Purohit. Besides that, a mother to an artist and an entrepreneur. But what gives me maximum happiness is the smile on my patient's face when they come with their blood sugars within normal limits. It really is not, I cannot describe the happiness that I get when I see a patient who's earlier come in a distress with very high sugars and then absolutely normalized. So that's a fun part of it. Now I hand over to Dr. Pranjali to introduce herself.
Thank you so much, Dr. Latika. And good afternoon, ma'am, and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Pranjali Shah, Director and Chief Diabetologist at Diabetes Clinic. It's in Mulund, Mumbai. Also, I'm handling internal operations in Eye Hill Hospital. It's an eye hospital. So, apart from handling these roles, I love to treat young diabetic patients to help them live longer and stronger. But if you don't find me in my clinic, you can see me doing farming, hiking, playing with my pets, and spending time in the village with the tribal population and tribal kids to help them to study and to help them to achieve their goals in life. Over to you, Dr. Kavita.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Kavita Rane. I'm a consultant diabetologist for the past 15 years practicing at Chembur. I'm the director of operations at Rani Hospital. I also practice at Apollo Spectra and in Lux General Charitable Hospital. My chief area is of specialization is type 2 adult diabetes and cardiometabolic disease. Post cardiac surgery patients are center specialization in that. For other activities, I love to paint, draw, sketch. I love abstract art. I love traveling. I have been a professional photographer and I've had an exhibition at Jahangir Art Gallery. I love EDM music and I love to travel. So over to Dr. Rukia.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone here. And I'm Dr. Rukia Surya Sheikh. I'm a diabetes, thyroid, and obesity specialist. I've been practicing in Mulund for the last 15 years in my clinic, Blue Circle Clinic.
And over these years, I have had this privilege of walking alongside with my patients through their health journeys. And when I'm not consulting, you'll probably see me that I'm working out. I enjoy the workouts. I love playing carom, and I enjoy having these wonderful conversations with good laughter and great company. And which, I believe that this wellness isn't just about numbers and hormones, it's also about the balance, the connection, and the joy. So I'm really looking forward to today's session where we are not just sharing, but we are also learning, and we are exchanging, and we are growing together. So welcome all of you on Vibe today here.
Thank you so much. So, I really want to bring in that teachers are the foundation of learning, shaping minds with knowledge, guidance, and unwavering patience. Their influence extends far beyond the classroom, actually shaping futures and inspiring purpose. Teachers in medicine do more just than imparting knowledge. They shape clinical judgment, ethical values, and the spirit of inquiry. Acknowledging this motive, we decided our theme as Women in Academic Medicine, Thriving, Teaching, and Leading with Authenticity. Best represented by one whose illustrious career spans internal medicine, endocrinology, HIV care, and also maternal health. Her work reflects not just expertise, but an unwavering dedication to compassionate, evidence based medicine. Welcome, everyone, to a Hexalog with Dr. Nivedita Maulik, one of the most eminent personalities that we've met. Indeed, an honor to have you with us, Dr. Nivedita Maulik, ma'am. Welcome to the Hexalog. I will also take the
Thank
pleasure
you.
to introduce ma'am quickly. Dr. Ma'am is retired professor of medicine from D.Y. Patil School of Medicine, deemed to be university. Retired as professor and head of Department of Medicine, Sion Hospital after 35 years of service. She has been the chief of the endocrine division and in charge of the ART Center for HIV at the Sion Hospital, member of Quality Assurance Committee for Maternal Care BMC, senior consultant physician at the Norosji Maternity Home, principal investigator of various clinical trials at both the SIAM as well as DY Patil esteemed universities, has had over 100 publications in national and international journals, has completed similar instruction development comprehensive course at the SIAM at the DY Patil Hospital as well. She's been a chairperson of various boards. She's also been the reviewer for various journals, and she's also the consultant endocrinologist at Godrej Memorial Hospital and Sushruth Chembur earlier, honorary endocrinologist at Holy Spirit Hospital, Andheri. With decades of relentless commitment to clinical excellence, teaching, and patient advocacy, she's been instrumental in advancing multidisciplinary care and improving outcomes for some of the most vulnerable populations. Ma'am, truly welcome, and it's an honor to have you today with us. Any quick thoughts that come to your mind before we start?
Thanks a lot, all of you, Dr. Ritu, Kavita, Lotika, and every one of you. I'm really delighted I accepted the offer. I look young amongst you, though I'm not so young. But to see you all vibrant and in colorful codes, I think I'm really, really glad that I took up this thing. I've been seeing the information of Vibe, but I somehow have been attending another meeting at the same time, so I've not been able to really go through them. But now I think we can go through the past serials and your updates that you have. But it's a women's initiative, and that's the best part of it. Like, we all have to uplift ourselves and go on lifting it up and more. So I think whichever is the initiative of empowering women, that's really a dedicated and a good job. And so congratulations to all of you, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you
With
so
that,
much.
with that, may I ask Dr. Rukia to take over the first segment?
Yes.
Ma'am, welcome again.
Good enough. I just wanted to be sure.
Yes. So, ma'am, this first segment that we are going to be talking about will be about your personal journey from the clinician to the leader and now the mentor that you are. And, rising from a medical student to a professor to a head of the department, and now you are a national academic leader. You have seen that medicine has changed so much over the years. I think from the textbooks that you read to the textbooks I have read have been completely changed, and they have been updated and upgraded. So when I start with this, how did this all start from the start? And what was the first thing that pulled you towards this profession? Was there anyone or anything that shaped this early decision of getting into medicine?
Yes, thanks, Rukia. I think when I was young, I was in Delhi for 3 years alone with my grandparents. My parents were in Bombay that time. I had to stay back to do my 9th, 10th, 11th. So whenever I, massaged my grandmother's legs or pressed it, she would always tell me, "You're going to become a big doctor one day." And she used to look up to the stars and say that I will see you from there. And it so happened that it was ingrained in me. More after that, my grandmother had bouts of breathlessness at night for 3 alternative days, where I took her me and my grandpa, we took her every night to a well-renowned teaching hospital, a busy casualty. But everyone there would see her, write something, do something, and send her back home. So it happened for 3 successful nights. And then finally, I spoke to one of them. I said, "It's so painful to come every night. Can't you just sort it out? What is the problem?" So then they agreed that she needed admission. So the next day, they said, "You come and get admitted." And while leaving home, my grandmother gave me the keys and she says, "This is your house now. You have to take care of everything." So I think one lesson that I learned, and I told all my residents every time, any patient who comes at night, whatever is the reason, he qualifies for an admission. Whatever may be your number of admissions in the whole day, don't send anyone home at night, because there must be a reason. We need to observe the next day. So that was one learning. And I think I got introduced to a hospital from that age, which was again something that I seemed to be comfortable with. I stayed with my grandma in the hospital. She didn't return home, but those were memories, and her blessings, I think, put me into the line of taking up medicine. That was it.
Thanks, ma'am. Certain times and certain people, they just say and those things, wo tathastu ho jata hai. So you've really become a great doctor that we know, when she prayed for you. And of course, you worked hard to reach where you are today. So, and you have taken on many, many meaningful roles through your career. What is one professional habit or value that you feel has contributed the most to your long-term growth and credibility?
Thank you. And I think you have to have this sense of belonging wherever you are, in whatever role you are. I have to have this sense that I'm here for a purpose and I have to give my 100% at that point of time. So whether I'm a junior or a senior or whatever role I'm playing, if I give my 100% honestly to the best I can, I think I've done a good job. And that's, I think, kept me going over a period of time, that I'm belonging here. Like even when I shifted from SAN to DY, it was a total change for me at that age, and the students were different. But I said that I'm here as a teacher. I need to do my job. So again, I got back to my doing myself. Whatever may be the atmosphere around you, you have to believe in yourself and keep going. So that is how it is.
So, ma'am, looking back at your journey, you have seen students change from over the period of years, also from a government setup to now private medical colleges. And what are the other major changes that you are seeing in this field of medicine, both again in how we teach it, also how we deliver the healthcare today?
So today, I think we have medical education systems that are well defined. We have the medical education units in all colleges. There is a faculty development program that is going on in all hospitals. And today we define medical graduates as somebody who has had the knowledge and skills for practice at a community level in the country where you stay, that's in India. But it has to be globally relevant. So our definition of a medical student is like a medical graduate with this much knowledge. He should be able to do community practice, what is the most thing required in our country, but also be updated. He has to be a good learner, lifelong learner, a communicator, a leader, and so on. And so he has to have all these qualities working in a team so that he can be globally relevant as well. So students who study and go abroad should have the same feeling that they have learned here, but then now they can also work anywhere else. So that is how the thing has changed. As far as healthcare, I think you must have this primary, secondary, tertiary care. But a tertiary care today is still doing a lot of primary care. We don't have those well-defined systems where you have a primary care that's well developed, but that's the need of the thing. So at every level, we are doing primary care as well. And I think in COVID, we all learned that we had to do, we couldn't forget our basics as well. So whether you were a nephrologist or a cardiologist,
Right.
you had to do the basic part of managing a patient. Clinical medicine, I feel, has not changed, but healthcare is different today in terms of technology that is driving us. So we have a lot of clinical medicine that remains our background, but there's a lot of technology that's come in, and we can't really ignore our technology. We have to grow with the technology. I won't say that CT, MRIs are not important, they are mandatory. So also is all the technology that is coming up. So we are technology driven today, and thanks to the advancements in all fields, we have to accept and grow with it. So that's important that in healthcare, there's a lot of technology driven clinical medicine.
Ma'am, so well said. This basic concept of self being curious and learning through your life. So all throughout life, you have to keep learning. I think those are the basic skills that one need to be having when they want to be a medical student, because it keeps changing and you have to keep updating. So thank you so much, ma'am. And I would like Dr. Lotika to take up the next segment now.
Thank you,
Yes.
Dr. Rukaya. And Madam, the next segment is about the health of a healthcare expert. You have treated many endocrine disorders, lifestyle diseases for the last few decades, but doctors usually often neglect their own health. Besides the shift in our understanding that women are less affected by disease than women, either being more prone to disease and less seeking support is well documented and warrants focus. So do you feel that women in general and women doctors in particularly tend to overlook self-care and their own physical well-being and health?
Yes, 100%. They tend to neglect themselves. I think we are all ingrained socially that we are givers rather than takers. So we have to look at, social conditioning is that serve. A girl is thought to be the serve. More importantly, everyone around you has to be served, looked into. And I think as we grow, we have our family, we have our children that take priority over us. And I think we have forgotten to prioritize ourselves. That's the first thing I think we should be doing. So in that, the self-care is lost. We do multitasking and then we neglect ourselves. So I think it's important that we learn to take care of ourselves. I agree that it's a big, what do I say? There's not much of time, but we have to do a time management for ourselves and look into it. So if you look around, I don't think diseases are less in women. It's just that they're not brought forward. It's always a family who brings a son ahead if they have a minimum illness, but a female is left. So as women doctors, I think we need to bring ourselves in front, and along with that, all the other doctors have to be taught, whether they're young or old, to take care of themselves and prioritize themselves as well.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. So, in today's career-oriented world, how can busy women physicians realistically integrate fitness, sleep, preventive health into their chaotic schedules?
I think waking up is a gift today. Like when you get up in the morning, you should know what is the purpose today. And I think if we start prioritizing that this is the work I need to do for today, this is the most important, this is the less important, this has to be done or could be done the next day. In that, we take time out for ourselves. So I think it's like knowing that we need to do something, we cannot neglect or ignore the other part of our daily work, but taking a little time out for self reflection, sitting with yourself and deciding that I need to do this. In the long run, it's going to benefit me and me only. So I think we need to just take a little time out, learn to say no to a little extra work, rest, restore, and reinvent yourself all the time.
Yes,
I think we
yes,
need to
ma'am. That's so true. We need to prioritize our own healthcare. What are the common health mistakes that you see among female doctors today? Could you add some three non-negotiable rules for women doctors so that they maintain a good health and are able to look after themselves?
in females, it's often told it's part of your cycle, it's part of your aging, it's part of your pregnancy, it's part of your postpartum, and all these things which are not true or not totally untrue, but those are things just neglected over there. So I think right from a girl, a teenager, an adolescent, she has to be told that her things are important, whether it's a cycle related, pregnancy related, postpartum, menopausal phase, whatever it is. So I think you must learn to take time out, prioritize yourself. Rest is important. Rest is not laziness, rest is recovery. Restore yourself, brag yourself a little, and reinvent yourself from time to time. So I think I would say that prioritize yourself on top of the list at some days of the week and take that out that today is my day. I will do it for myself. And that I think will put us to have at least minimum rest, sleep, good nutrition, because ultimately you're the pillar of your family. So you need to be in
Yes,
good.
that's right. That's so important. In fact, last weekend I was at a meeting for women physicians and we were enacting a skit wherein, a woman comes with chest pain and she's like kind of ignored, like pretty similar to what you were saying earlier, that how your grandmother was taken to the hospital and, nothing really was done. And unfortunately, this in the skit, the woman has a massive heart attack, and then there's a court case of that, just to kind of make a kind of impact that women do have health issues and they can have heart attacks, and it's just not that only men have heart attack or whatever. Excellent, ma'am. This was a very insightful speaking to you. Now I hand over to Dr. Pranjali for the next segment of the conversation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lotika. So, ma'am, this next segment we'll be talking about emotional intelligence behind the white coat. So, we discussed about the physical well-being. Now we are going little deeper, and I would like to have your mantra and formula. So, how we are supposed to handle the situation. So, my first question to you, ma'am, given the multiple roles you have led in your career, be it an endocrinology or art for HIV, maternal care for or publications domain, was there ever a phase of burnout, self-doubt? So how did you manage and how did you recover from that situation, ma'am?
Thank you, Pranjal. All these roles came to me not by choice, but by default. So my seniors left to another hospital and I was given the endocrine department to work over. And then came a phase when I took over as head. We were told to do the HIV thing. I told my head of the department, this is something that's not required. We have enough headaches. But then he left and I had to do the whole development of that department. Maternal care was important because as residents, we had a full-fledged, good obstetric gynec department and we interacted a lot. So pregnancy medicine was something I liked and I took active part. And later when I was on the MMC maternal care board, it was very sad to see that, maternal deaths are being discussed, many of which are preventable. But those were lessons to learn and teach back. So that was one thing. And I think if you know that it's your duty,
I think treatment events, can you please go on a mute?
hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Can you keep
if
yourself
you
mute?
sorry, accept that it is Hello?
Dr. Can you please call them? I think there is some issue with the.
Shall I hold on?
Yes, ma'am.
तो चालू वो तो co-host मैंने बना दिया था ना ऋतु को.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Now you can go ahead. I think they are on mute now.
Sorry. So I said these roles came to me as by default. And I think if you accept it's your duty and you have to do it, it's done. It's nothing that it's impossible. But you had your support team. You have juniors, seniors to take guidance from. You have everyone working with you. So it was not that I was running the whole show. It was a group
You
that
have
was running.
team
So when you
and
have a team, you're the leader. But I think everyone contributes equally. And if you accept everyone's contribution, you go ahead very well. So I think teamwork was important.
And ma'am, while doing this, you might have seen in the over last 35 years in night duties, patient deaths and family responsibilities. So some point of time you might feel emotionally, broken down or something like that. So or emotionally numb. So how did you manage that situation? So I need your personal formula or secret key. How did you manage for so many years?
Very, very honest.
Yeah.
I used to go to my mother's house. She was the only one who would ask me, how are you? You know, when you come home, nobody ever asks you, how are you doing? They'll keep telling their complaints, but nobody will tell you what it is. So I think, looking into the mirror, asking yourself, how are you? Reflecting yourself, how was your day? What went wrong yesterday? What can I do better tomorrow? What else do I need? I think we all have our desires. We need physical attachments, we need emotional support. You may cry, but that's not the answer to everything. And I think asking for help is nothing wrong. Like if you have your support systems, your friends, your socially connected, everyone is there out to help you, but you have to reach out to them. They may identify your problem, but everyone doesn't have the time. So I think if you talk to people, ask for help, your mother, your father, whoever is there, and reach out to them. So I think that was my emotional support. I did burnout maybe at times, but always bounced back and resilience
Do you
was
believe
there.
in yoga, meditation, ma'am? Do you think that
I
will
think
help
all
you
that has come in now.
Yes.
That was a time when you were so busy,
Yes.
growing up with kids, managing family, didn't have all that time for it. But I think now it's required. Now you tell yourself that take long breaths when you get angry. I must tell you that every time I fired a resident, I would have something go wrong with me. Maybe simple things, would not get my bus on time, would not reach somewhere on time, would not get my food on time, whatever. So I think you emotionally do something wrong and you get your thing in return. So I think asking for help, being with them, looking out for social help, your parents, maybe sometimes just talking it out to your partner and getting out of that
Yes, ma'am.
phase of whatever it is. And you know that it's a passing phase, it'll go away. Those are the things.
Yeah, I think the self-awareness is the key where I think you're telling about. You need to be aware about
know what-
why you are reacting or what is happening. So my last question to you, ma'am, what emotional skill should every woman doctor like us and young female physicians consciously build to survive long term in their profession?
Thank you. I think you need to be confident. You need to be updated. That brings confidence. You need to be strong. Don't be scared. Be safe wherever you are. Learn to have your physical skills, your knowledge, and everything. Emotionally, there are phases when there's going to be ups and downs, and that's part of life. I think you cannot change that. So I think if we accept that there is going to be a good phase, good days, bad days, there are bad days. I'm sure one of my teachers used to tell me, the day you feel bad, dress up the best. It will automatically change your mood for the day, and you'll have good food, and you'll feel like, you're doing well. However emotionally down you may be on that day, but don't show it out. Show it on your, put up your best colors, put up your best dress code, show that everything is happy, and then later in the day, maybe you could reflect and talk it out and do it. So I think skills are developed over a period of a time. Be strong, be resilient, be open to anything. I'm sure we cannot predict what it is. And I have this scar on my head which tells me every day is new. I had a back fracture, so I'm with that mark still. So I think every day is a new day, and we have to be strong, and you never know what happens tomorrow. So that's the emotional bounding that you should have with yourself. Thank
Absolutely
you.
true, ma'am. And thank you so much for sharing. And
Yeah.
let's move on to the next segment, segment 4. Over to you, Dr. Kavita. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Pranjali. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
So,
afternoon.
I mean, we're learning so much from you today and learning from your own personal experiences and what I've heard of from you. It's a big, big honor to be asking you personal questions like this. So, this next segment is on, it's moving to financial independence, a financial angle of the noble profession. So, we all know that women doctors give their lives to patients day to day, and but often remain financially underconfident. Financial independence is not luxury, it is dignity. So, ma'am, though women have been the money manager for so many years, all their lives, so what do you think female doctors hesitate to talk openly about money, income, and why? Why do you think they hesitate to talk about money, income, and financial planning?
I think we've been told that we have to do service. Don't ask for money. I mean, that's how sometimes we are ingrained into us, right? From it's like giving. Don't be aggressive. Accept whatever you get. Don't ask for
Hmm.
anything. I've
Hmm.
also been told your earning is peanuts at some point of time. I've still been taunted for giving a 500 rupees note instead of a 100 rupee note to a person who came to change the gas cylinders. So my husband tells me I can't handle, you can't handle money. So keep it away. So my finances have been done by my father and my husband. But I think now my children tell me, Mommy, you don't even know what you've been doing all these years. You've earned and you've not kept something for yourself. So I think we always look at that saving, and today's generation is not so. We never spent money on ourselves, but I think it's open to talk now. Today, there's something called financial planning, becoming
Correct.
literate, knowing what it is.
Yeah.
So today, the world is different. I think we all should get around and have your tea talks or your days when you have these kitty parties, talk about finance. I think kitty parties were also that you're contributing to a event,
So,
meeting
yes.
people, having good food. And I think that's one thing that has picked up. I don't know how rampant it is now, but those were things where you could contribute a big small amount and get one big in return. So I think today world is a little different. Yes, I have also been into a bus without a purse or without any money in my pocket, but then those drivers have been conductors knew me and they let me go. So I think now I've become very careful about money. But today we have these credit cards, we have the GPay. Even if you don't have a pie, you can manage your work.
Mm.
But I think
Mm.
it's high time we start talking about finance over tea, over
Mm.
whichever
Mm.
events. And I think many conferences now also have a segment where they
Mm.
teach you about finances and many other things.
That
That's
is true.
important.
That is true, ma'am.
Yeah.
What you were saying, that was my next question. What is your take on financial literacy? What you said is true that you make it a usual day-to-day talking question rather than a focused, oh, what is this kind of question. So, at what stage do you think should women doctors start serious financial planning, and what should be, her first step, sort of? What age do you
think
think they should
first,
start?
thanks. I think the first time you start earning, you should start it there. You may give your first job money to your parents, also maybe the first few months, but then you need to take stock of what you're earning, what you're spending, how much you can, manage your own finances with whomever is around you. You may have your responsibilities, but I think it should start from that very stage because we don't have training in schools or colleges, and we
Yeah.
learn it on our own. But by trial and error, I think we need to know. Like, I mean, we live in an environment where we buy things. The rates of everything keep changing, so it can't be what it was 4 years back.
True.
So financially, we should know that if the rates are going up, we also need to charge accordingly.
True.
So,
True.
today things are in scarcity, the rates are higher. So whatever it is. So I think we need to be aware right from the time you start earning that it's your money and you need to take a good account of what you're doing with the money that you've earned because it's hard-earned money. So I think right from that step.
Very true. Ma'am, what is the biggest financial mistake you see women doctors commonly making now? Like your advice to the young doctors, young women doctors today, as in, what do you think they're
I think
going
you should
wrong with?
start charge as equivalent to what male doctors do. You're no lower than them, you're no lesser than them. Right?
Correct.
That's first thing. Second, keep also reinvesting
Mm. I think, ma'am.
and whatever is the charges that are going on, I think you have to spend money on your infrastructure because the first impression when one walks to a clinic is what is the first
Clinic.
impression before doctor. So I
Mm.
think that's important. Having waiting place for your people, if there are
Mm.
large numbers, spending
Mm.
time on clinic, renovating your clinics, charging equivalent to what is the market rate or whatever you're worthy of, because patients bring patients. So I think that's important that you keep, don't fix up money. Also, I think, I have this habit of, I know somebody is coming here, I know them, maybe I forego their charges, but I think that sometimes we make mistakes because once you set a rule, it's a rule. Like it, beat anyone. You may have concession, you may give concessions to people, but at the same time, don't do anything for free because
Mm.
everyone is earning and it's important that their health is looked after. So even if they pay a
Correct.
little more, it should be fine.
Correct, correct. Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for this. And I'll be moving on and passing the baton to Dr. Ritu for the next segment, that's segment 5.
Thank you, Kavita.
Thank you so much, Kavita. And ma'am, you just amaze us. The way you are so humble. I think your humility is truly infectious. And especially knowing, the amount of work that you have done. My segment talks about leadership, success, and aftermath. A lot of times we hear from, and I think from childhood, I've been hearing that once you are successful, success doesn't stick. You have to put efforts every day. It is not that once you've achieved it and then it stays forever. You have to persistently be behind it. Like you used words like resilience, persistence. I think these are words that we should really be telling our Gen Z or the next generation quite frequently, because we see their attention span being really short, and their overall thinking being a very little different. So like we also say that the upbringing has also changed. So I'm going to talk about how leadership success has been in your life, and you've lived inside hospital for almost 35 years plus, standalone Sion Hospital. Now, of course, you are an award of wisdom. So leadership and success, between the two, there is a very thin line of demarcation. Somebody may misunderstand, somebody may not. So my first question, reflecting on your overall journey, a very esteemed journey, what does leadership actually mean to you, ma'am? And how has your definition of success changed from, your early days to your retirement days?
Oh, well, thanks, Ritu. I think leadership is taking everyone along with you. Whatever
Wow.
is the path, however difficult it is, you have to take everyone with you. I'm sure we can't satisfy everyone, it's impossible. But
That's
if
true.
you find somebody is not in term with you or doesn't
Hmm.
like the way you're doing things or he's unhappy with the thing or he's a
Hmm.
little setback, maybe talk it
Hmm.
over and take them. He may have his problems, sort
Wow.
out those problems, but take it in a group because unless you are in a group, things will not be achieved. Even if you have outliers, those outliers need to be, taken and put it into that thing. You can't ignore them. So I think leadership
Absolutely.
has been learning to take everyone along with you. It might be difficult, but I think if you don't hold grudges against anyone, they will come back to you. Like if I say something, it's over. I don't need to carry forth the next day that, oh, I told you this, I told you that. It's over. It was
Absolutely.
part of what happened yesterday. The past is past, future is yet to come. So today you do the let's celebrate for today, let's live for present and work on it. So I think that's leadership that you would do. When you're young, you're observing people, you're observing leaders, your teachers. And I'm sure as whatever systems that we had, whether it was full time or part time, I've learned every small thing in different ways from different people. All my teachers,
Right.
somebody could identify a patient from the look of it. Somebody would
Hmm.
come and tell me that you must do this for this one. Somebody would sit down with the patient, expose totally, take a detailed history, then tell you that this is what should be done next. Somebody would just look at a report and you know say what it is with no history taken. But everyone had their own way, and they were all right in their own way for that point of time. So I think medicine is evolving. You as young, your success is passing exams, getting a job, getting a salary, doing well, winning over things. So that was as youth. But leadership over a year, over if you are a team leader, you will succeed as a leader. So I think in small members, I mean in small groups, become a team leader, learn there, and then you go to higher steps. So I'm sure all of us grow from a junior to a senior, and I'm sure all of you will, you're all leaders in your own way, but you will be doing administrative jobs, leadership to a bigger groups. And I think if you have the self confidence, the belief in you, you could take it ahead. Yes, there will be problems all over. Nothing is smooth, but you could learn to handle those over a period of time. Sometimes I think just talking across, spending time, analyzing their needs, something that we didn't understand. I think that's important that you talk it over and bring that person into your group or in the same uh,
Hmm.
wavelength
Understood.
that
Same
you are
wavelength.
and what is your goal. So creating small goals, not big goals, having your aims and objectives, creating a goal for a week, few days, then taking it ahead. So step by step, I think slow and steady wins the race. So it does go
Absolutely.
ahead.
So I really love the way you said that, you should all walk together. That also resonates with our theme saying vibe, because of course, yes, individually we may be great, but when we all come together, I think the united power is something which is very different. The various flavors that we bring in are truly wonderful. Thank you so much, ma'am. And with that, I would also like to bring in the fact that being women, like you said, of course, we are not lesser than anyone, and we are, like equivalent or rather little more multitasking as compared to our counterpart gender. But at the same time, we are also hit very badly by the hormones throughout our life. Be it from infancy to our perimenopausal phase or postmenopause as well. So, when you look at this hormonal cycles, which ups and downs are there during crisis or loss or exhaustion, what was the inner belief or a philosophical thought, if any, that kept you stable? And, like you were sharing about your mother being there as your rock. What was the philosophy that kept you stable in these times?
I think I have belief in God. I also believe in destiny. What has to happen will happen. And I think also you have to learn to have the strength to accept something that you can't change. So you believe that these are phases that are transient. But if a person is persistently unhappy, doing very professionally well, but not doing or always being low, I would think that there is something inner that has not been brought out, the desire to do something, or there is something that is hiding in her, or her self neglect, or I think there's a lot of domestic violence in another way. I mean, there is something that is hidden. Her desires are not expressed. So I think I would tell her to get up, brag yourself, express your desires, show your gratitude. I think because we see a lot of these psychosomatic disorders. And when you talk to a female, she will come out with something. You know, there was this female who did a good bariatric surgery to be, I mean, as per her husband's choice. But then after going through a bariatric surgery, when her skin was so lax, she comes and tells me, my husband doesn't want to look at me now. I mean, I did all this for him, but now he doesn't accept my. So she had to undergo another tummy tuck like procedure to tighten her laxity and tone up her muscles. So, you know, it was something that was there, which was not told. She couldn't tell anyone. So I told her, just go back to your surgeon and do it and you'll get done. So I think there is some inner things. You know, there's a saying that a life lived with all your negative points having made mistakes is more honorable than having somebody that is lying inside you, an untold story that goes with you. So I think we need to find out what it is. So as women doctors, maybe they need help. They need to just get back to themselves, talk it to themselves, do some social gatherings, find out what is their unmet need. It may be something internal, maybe sometimes in childhood that has stuck with you and grown up with you. Sorry. So I would find out the cause. Sometimes maybe sitting with your partner and sorting it out. Or I'm sure all of us have families, our problems. We go through all this in life. But it's the life is meant to be happy. Happiness is not ready made, but you need to find your own score of happiness. And I think if somebody is not doing well personally, though professionally well, I would tell her to maybe counsel, take a help, do some social get togethers, ask for, there's nothing wrong in asking for help. Sometimes, you know, writing, self reflecting yourself, finding out why am I low on this day? What happened? What was the trigger? And then, you know, reading it yourself and finding out I could ask for help. You know, sometimes somebody tells you something wrong, you take it to your heart and you keep that in your memory for ages, maybe your own family people, maybe anything. So I think one thing is to let go. Let go. The past is done. Look forward to the future. I think those small things would matter. So I would say that as women doctors, if we find somebody very low, it's our duty to get into touch with her or him, whoever it is, and find out what is the unmet, what is the negative emotions or something that is there. I think we need to get to the root cause, find out and offer her simple, maybe simple things. So, you know, going out together, having a picnic, having your own vacation. Today, girls go out on their own holidays. So, planning a holiday for yourself. I think even in money matters, we don't plan for ourselves. We don't keep save, but we don't save for ourselves. Going on a vacation on your own. So, I think we need to recognize the individual and help them out in the best way that they want. So, maybe we could talk to them, counsel them. I think many of us don't ask for help. So that's the way I think we should recognize and do it. Because, you know, in a batch of students, you'll always have somebody who's not very happy, has queries, but doesn't want to talk it out. So you have to identify and try to find out what you could do best for that particular person. So I think here we have a right to be professionally and personally happy, and we should get involved in making that person equally happy.
Yes.
Very important point, ma'am, which is mental health. And, absolutely rightly pointed out by you by that, despite of us being, primary caregivers, whether it's women or even doctors. And I always say that, the doctors are the best actors because no matter whatsoever is going on behind in our minds, we are
Yeah.
always putting our best face forward. We're
Mm.
always talking, in a way that it is not disturbing and we're not showing our real, feelings outside. So
Mm.
somewhere or the other, yes, it's very important that we seek help. We have sisterhood. We are sure that we are helping out everybody. So with that, ma'am, I will switch gears and I'll hand over to Kavita for the next segment, the fun
Yeah.
segment. Kavita, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Dr. Ritu. So, ma'am, this next segment is like a rapid fire quick segment. Okay, so I'm switching gears. So, if you could give us like quick one-liners, one-line answers for all these questions, that would be an exciting segment for all of us viewers. So,
Yeah,
the first question is money management or time management? What is most important?
time management, money will follow.
That's amazing. Okay, so emotional strength or physical stamina? Your key characteristic.
Think active mind in a youthful body. Physically, you should be strong. Emotions are part of your mind, which, if you're physically good, your emotions will be good.
Perfect. So, mentor or self-learning? Your preferred role.
I think I've been a self learner all these years, but you grow to be a mentor because you also have to look after the other generations and people who come up. So our wisdom has to be passed on. So till now, we've been self learners, but you always are mentoring somebody. Even as a parent, you're mentors to
Yeah,
somebody or the other. So I think the role is for academic purposes, it's self learning, but for practical purposes, mentorship is equally important.
perfect. So, your mantra to de-stress, like tea or coffee or TV.
Oh, I'm a big tea drinker. I'm also a big TV. Uh, I somehow have
Perf-
not been developing much of habits, so TV is one good time pass.
Okay, thank you. So, one book every doctor should read.
I think one is How to Stop Worrying and Make Friends by Dale Carnegie, and the other one is that Ikigai of the Japan
Yeah,
philosophy
yeah,
of
yeah.
living long without, I mean, having your tummy 80% full, not fully, and good exercises, doing small things for others. Those are books that are really good and think should be read. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
yeah,
read light
yeah,
this, but bigger ones.
yeah, they're really beautiful books. Moving on, success or peace? What matters more now?
What else? Sorry?
Success or peace? What matters more now?
Peace, definitely. Your peace of mind is more important to you than your success. So I think you may be successful in every way, but you are not peaceful at mind. So that doesn't really work out. So peace,
True,
for sure.
true. Very true. Thanks. So one line for every woman doctor watching Vibe today.
You will not see the rainbow if you keep looking down. So I think get up, brag yourself, give yourself a pat. Nobody comes and pats you. Express your desires with a lot of gratitude. I think you need to do that. Only then you'll be shining. So that's
Yes,
the first thing to
true,
say.
true, true. And the last question is one funny incident you remember from your work life experience.
So one thing was, our students were doing a small video and they said you have to do something. So they walked into the room where we had some program going. I said, I have nothing. They said, no, just jiggle and, I had only a stetho with me. So they said, no, just, move your thing. So I put the stetho and I put my stetho on the chest and then I put it on my skull and I made a little dance. So it became a happy funny moment. And they said, what are you all looking into your, where were you auscultating? I said, we just had a session on organ transplant, on organ donation. So we are talking about brain death. So I was just saying whether my brain is beating. It was a big moment. that I said.
That,
But I must
that's
say, one painful incident. I was a resident when I took my complete evening round, and one patient came and said, "Madam, you've not seen me. Aapne dekha nahi." So I said, "No, just go down and lie there. I'll come and see you." And the biggest mistake I made was I forgot to see him. I just went to my room and I got a call, and I couldn't, he didn't survive. So, one lesson was I called him, he came and told me. Unfortunately or fortunately, there were not, many relatives who would create a chaos. But it was I prayed so silently for him. That's one mistake I made. When you are taking rounds, you have so many patients, you always would tend to forget. So at the end of the day, you have to always think, did you complete your task? Was anything left? Do I need to come back? If I'm hungry, I'll go and have dinner and come back. So I think that big lessons you learn from your own patients. And I honestly thank that patient for
true, ma'am.
teaching me.
True. What you're saying is we are all human, so we should remember that always. And we also
Yeah.
can make mistakes, and acceptance is most important for us itself if we make mistakes.
I
That's
think
so
we
true,
make
ma'am.
mistakes very often. We are all humans ultimately. So we are not gods as told always. Today things are different. You are going to be questioned. It's not
Yeah,
that you're sacrosanct and nothing will be asked. So there's a
true.
lot of legal issues. So documentation is important. And that's the message to everyone here.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks a
true.
lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to Dr. Ritu.
So, so it's been a very interesting and incredible talking with you, madam. Really very insightful. You've really ignited a lot of sparks in our minds. And it's really amazing the passion, the resilience, and the brilliance that you have, which you have been shaping the future of medicine with all the, young doctors, and you have been breaking barriers, and you keep inspiring and keep thriving. So with this, there were so many take-home messages, but what I liked the best was that the day you feel bad, you should dress up the best and turn up, show up for whatever you have signed up. I would like to ask everybody for their take-home messages also. Rukaiya, Dr. Rukaiya, would you like to share yours?
Yes, so my favorite was the same one. I have promised myself to follow that. So if I am
Yeah.
dressed up really well, you have to ask me what went wrong. Okay, girls. So that is for all of you.
That's right.
But also, which I learned
Noted.
from ma'am today, that yes, leadership is about taking everyone together,
Yes.
taking that little one who's not feeling so good, not behaving so well, and just taking them in the stride. So leadership is
Yes.
taking everyone together.
Yeah. Yes. It's all about teamwork. Dr. Pranjali?
Yeah, so I was also going to say the same because, ma'am, I was really nervous because I know I'm going to ask you questions. So dressing up has helped me a lot to boost my confidence. So yes, I agree to it because that changes your mood completely. And the second thought I would say it is time management. That is the key, and money will follow it. So
Yeah,
that's my
that's true.
take home messages from today. Dr. Ritu.
So I think many points, ma'am, that have really touched, when you were talking. But I guess two things that I will really embark upon is one is that seek help. We really need to speak about the issues that we are harboring. And yes, there are still domestic violences happening. There are still mental issues happening, or there are still women who are waiting for validation. So I guess definitely, yes, seek help in the best sister you can find around, and of course, peace is most important than any success that you can gather.
For me,
Okay. And Dr. Kavita. No.
today's take-home message was celebrate for today. So I'm going to celebrate
Yes.
today. We don't know about
Yes.
tomorrow. And the me time
I
that
think,
ma'am said,
the
me
past
time.
is not existing, future
Huh.
is yet to come. Today is
Correct.
what we need to be together and celebrate.
Yes.
Today is a
Yes.
present. Correct.
Yes, the present that we need to live in.
Yes.
So thank you so much, madam. And we all we request you to
Fine.
do our signature vibe, the two
Yeah.
index finger and middle finger.
Index and
Index and middle, like a V.
We.
So at the count
Yeah.
of 3, we say be the vibe. 1, 2, 3. Be the vibe.
Bye.
So,
Okay.
Thank you.
thank you so much.
So much, ma'am.
Thank
thank
you.
It
you.
was wonderful having you.
It
It
was
was
great.
really very wonderful having you and
Yes.
having a very inspiring talk
Ma'am,
with
we've
you.
been so scared, like Nivedita Maulik ma'am is coming. So if when I was in Nair, it's like Maulik ma'am is going to come as an examiner. So we've always looked up to you as a teacher, as an examiner. Frankly, so today's session, मुझे लगा मेरा वाइवा होने वाला है. I am going to be the one
Ask
presenting a
questions.
case and ma'am will ask some questions, which
No,
I
I
would
think
not
I
know.
always accepted examinership as well because that was part of our duty. So
Yeah.
many students tell me that you were our examiners. So I think I've helped whatever I could. But anyway, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
It was a
you.
pleasure
Thank
having
you
you
so
here
much,
today.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you
Bye-bye.
next time. Yeah,
See
sure.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Bye.